Hi, it is me, Silas, again, with another tutorial on CodeEM. So if you've watched my previous videos, we've talked about creating a campaign, we've talked about some styling. I think the next big thing to look at would be to look into generators. And generators, or random generators, are just that, things that generate content for you. So let's get into it. You would make a generator to create names, if you wanted to create locations on the fly, if you wanted to create NPCs or encounters, you can use a generator. And what's great about CodeEM is that you can create your own. And it's pretty easy. So let's get started and let's do that for our campaign. So we're going to create a new generator and we're going to call it NPC because we want an NPC generator. And enter, and this whole page opens up. There's not a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, hopefully it'll make sense. So on the top we have this formatting template, and this is kind of like the framework for where your random content will go into. Below we have a place where we can add subtables inside of our generator, and these tables will hold the content that fills in our table. So I'm just going to get started, and then after I've done a little bit, I'll explain what's going on, and hopefully it'll make sense. So we're going to say NPC name, and then we're going to say NPC race, and we'll say NPC occupation. And a couple things. Notice, first, I've got this $sign before each one of these words, and that indicates that it's a variable. Next thing to notice is that these are just one word, there's no spaces. This is because this is one entire variable that we're going to fill in later. And actually, let's put some filler content around this. Race and job. Okay. And I'll get rid of the spacing. We don't need the spacing, actually. So we have this template, and don't worry if that doesn't make sense yet. We'll get to it. We'll come back to it, I mean. So we're going to create some tables now inside of our generator. And this first one we're going to call NPC name. And I'm going to put some names in. Bob, Anne, George, Fred, Claire, Amy, Susan. And what's going to happen is that when we use our generator, it's going to spit out this text, but it's going to replace every instance that begins with this $sign with a line from a table with a corresponding name. So when it gives us back an NPC, it's going to give us one of these names in this spot right here instead. We also have NPC race and NPC occupation, so I'm going to make a table for each of those as well. NPC race and NPC occupation. Now, it's really important that the names match up, because otherwise it won't know which variable corresponds to which table. So, NPC race, halfling, dragonborn, dwarf, elf. Okay, that's enough races. NPC occupation, and in our world, there are only tanners, fighters, and merchants. Obviously, there are more occupations than that, but we're going to pretend that's all we've got here. Last thing to do is save. Everything looks good here. So we're going to go back to our campaign, Adventures of Teleria, and you can see now that in this details section, we have something new here. It's a generator under our items. It's toggled on. That's good. We could toggle it off if we don't want to be able to access it from this campaign. We probably do. It defaults on. We're going to leave it on. Let's launch the campaign. And as you can see, down in the random generator section, it now has a button called NPC. If we click it, we now have a new NPC. Name Amy, race elf, job fighters. Oh, I had an S to that, whatever. And if I refresh though, Fred, the halfling merchant, and the halfling tanners, Susan, the elven merchant. I'm going to remove those S's, those are bothering me. As you can see, yeah, there we go. George the Dwarven Tanner. Perfect. Sometimes it'll reuse them, it will generate new ones, and you can make these pretty complicated or pretty in-depth. and I can show you an example of one in a second. So these are generators. What's nice is that if you don't want to create your own generators, what's great is that you don't have to. Other people have as well. So over here on this bottom tab is the marketplace. And I might talk about the marketplace more later and publishing, but that'll be a later video. For now, we're just going to find a generator that we like. So if we go and just filter by generators, there are 3 right here. These are the only ones in the store right now, but that's because more ones haven't been added yet. And let's say we want a tavern generator. We're going to click on it, and we can see it is created by Codium, and it's welcome to the Complete Tavern. Huh, okay, interesting. Let's say we like it, so we're going to subscribe. We just hit subscribe, and it's done. There's no, like, you don't have to pay anything. It's free. You just subscribe to it. And if we go back to our campaign, we can see now that our generators, in addition to our NPC generator, we also have the Complete Tavern. Let's launch our campaign again and see what happens. Voila! We now have a Complete Tavern generator as well. And if we click on it, this is a lot more text. The Sour Homunculus, known for live music and performances. The owner is in hiding here due to being wanted for murder in a neighboring community. They're secretly a member of a powerful underground network of spies. The patrons are listening to a bardic ballad or epic poem. A shady patron is operating a scam or con. If I regenerate this, all this text changes. The owner is actually a doppelganger. They've been secretly working for a powerful angel to gain divine favor. Gives us some names, gives us some cool, interesting secrets and facts about it. A lot of stuff going on. So if in the middle of your game, you're like, oh, shoot, I need a campaign or a new tavern because the players are asking where they can get a drink, and it's called, oh, the Crystal Sturge. Crystal Sturge. And we're like, sweet. Ta-da! Click on it. And now we can start editing, or no, we can copy and paste this in here if we wanted to. So for example, I can just paste that in. What's also neat is, let's say you've already named the tavern, but you're like, I don't know what's in it. You could also link to these generators by typing the Complete Tavern. And now, if you have the Complete Tavern and maybe it's a changing tavern, whatever else, you've now linked to the tavern. Every time I click this link, it'll reload the Complete Tavern. So, those are generators for you. That's the end of this video. I hope you learned something great. And hope to see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Goodbye.